Hello everyone. I thought that I would do a couple of videos on Robocraft to explain how a couple of the dynamics and sort of physics work. And the first one that I wanted to do would be something to cover where you would start when you first start playing the game if you don't want to put money into it. And the very first thing you're going to want to be able to do is move your robot. Now you may find this frustrating if, say, you're not particularly fond of physics, or you know, maybe vehicle dynamics is not something that you've had a lot of playing around with, especially in this game. Now something you need to understand is wheelbase and the height of your vehicle. So what I'm going to do here is I've made this little vehicle here. As you can see, it's a tiny little thing. You'd think that this would be fairly stable, you know, but unfortunately, because of how close together these wheels are, you've only got two blocks between, and how high this is, even something like this can be fairly unstable. So if I go into a practice battle here, this will be fairly easy to flip over on even fairly level ground, really. So let's have a look here. So okay, seems okay here, seems okay. Right, let's go on to a very slightly unlevel ground. You see it's getting more unstable. Oh, 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 okay. So let's say we're going down a hill maybe. Yeah, here you did a turn on a hill, and yeah. So we got lucky there, but this is the sort of thing is, okay, we're going so fast, and oh, there we go. I mean, I didn't even mean to flip over there, and that happened. So what I'm going to do now is maybe show you a few examples of how you might fix something like this. So let's come out of this battle here. Okay, so the first thing that I've done here, just to show as an example how you might change a robot that's quite unstable, is to lower the vertical profile of that robot. So yeah, as you can see, I've just got rid of all the top there, same wheelbase. If we now go into a practice, don't want to go into a battle, that would be disastrous. Once this loads up, we'll find this is most likely a lot more stable, I'm hoping. So here we are, once again, so exactly the same wheelbase. Look at this, you know, we're doing all these turns here. It's far more stable, and this is because we don't really have any. See if we could probably even get away with doing this. See that, perfectly fine, moving around on this quite unstable terrain, and we're really not in much of a danger of flipping. Obviously if we go over that, it would be okay, but even then we managed to get away with it. Now later on in the game you do get an item that allows you to flip your robot over, but this is one of the first ways you would make sure that your robot doesn't flip, is to lower the height of your robot in comparison to the width of the wheelbase. Now another option is to make sure that your robot has got a heavier underside than top side. So let's come out of this and I'll show you that. Okay, so the next thing that you can do to really try and stabilize a design that you have, if you don't really want to mess around with, say, the dimensions or where things are placed, is to use these blocks down here. So let me open one up. Is these heavy chassis cubes. Now when you first start the game, I think you start off with 100 of them, or maybe 50, I can't remember. Now they have exactly the same armor rating as these light chassis cubes. These really are just used essentially to build your robot around. When you get later on, you probably won't even use them. Now these have 3 times the mass of the light chassis cubes. As you can see, this one has got a mass of 15 kilograms, whereas this one has got a mass, sorry, the light chassis cube has a mass of 5 kilograms, this one has a mass of 15. Now if we now jump in here and do another practice battle, the wheelbase is still, the way we've got our robot set up here is still a little bit of an issue, but you will notice a marked improvement in stability. So for example, if we go here, where it was quite easy for us to flip over before on this sort of slightly undulating terrain here, it's a lot easier for us to keep our robot upright. So let's try and find what point we need to get this to flip over. And you see, you know, far more stable than it was with just a light chassis all over. And that's really because we've got now a centre of gravity is lower. Oh, there we go, almost there. Oh, okay. So this is kind of what you need to keep in mind when you're making your robot, is that the height of your robot when you're using these wheels compared to the base, there we go. Oh, so as you see, I hope you're seeing that this is a little bit more stable. Now, these heavy chassis cubes are not the way I would personally go for stabilizing a robot that uses wheels. I will show you one last way in which you can do it, which is probably the most effective way to do it. But when it comes to using things like hovercraft or hover blades, or even oh, there we go, managed to flip it over. So even if you're using things like hover blades, or you're using wings and trying to make an actual flying robot, these heavy chassis cubes here can add a little bit of weight. So I mean, for example, if you're using a hover blade, it's very easy for it to flip over because you might have all your weapons on the top of it and not very much on the bottom. So if you put a load of weight on the bottom, this will sort of stabilize you, and it would also stop sort of swaying, etc. That's something that will come into play a little bit later on in the game. So while we're chatting here, what I'm going to do is I'm quickly going to remove all of these and replace them with these light chassis cubes. So this is the design that was the most unstable that we had. Now the next thing you can do, which is the most simple way to stop your robot from flipping over if using wheels, is to have this sort of guard rail around them. Let's do this. And this also does kind of protect you from having your robot having your wheels taken out from underneath you. You know, it gives you a little bit of protection there. You'll see a lot of designs that are sort of tank-like where they cover the wheels. And that is kind of a twofold protection there. It stops you from flipping over, and it also gives you a little bit of gives that little bit of security there, that if you do get a shot, you're not going to end up with one of your wheels kind of being unable to use your robots. Let's have a look here. And what we should now find is that essentially, although we haven't actually changed our wheelbase, we have made the width of our robot to the point where if we want to flip over, well, we now need to move that entire base that we've got on there. And we will be able to do it if we go flying over one of these edges here, but you'll notice that this is far more stable. Let's try and see what we can do to flip this over. Let's see if we can do it on here. Nope, not happening. Let's try it on here. Nope. Nope. So hopefully this gives you an idea of, here we go, let's get oh, no, still really quite stable. So as you can see, is what this essentially does is, without actually changing where your wheels are or the layout, is if you just put this sort of guardrail around there, you can stop your robot being in a situation where it's too high in relative to the base of it and it's going to be flipping over all over the place. So this is kind of a this is the method that I find, with you using wheels, the most effective at stopping your robot from becoming so unstable. And obviously if you get turned over in the worst place possible, you know, in the middle of nowhere, you've got no guns, you're no use to your team, and it's a very boring match. So this is something that you really need to be keeping in mind when you're making a robot. Now for the rest of this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you might set your robot up and how SMGs work, because these are going to be the first items in the game that you can use for weapons. And if you're not paying at all, those will be the ones that even when you get to tier 2 that you can access the upgraded version of, and even tier 3. So let's go and do that now. Okay guys, so now what I'm going to try and do is give you an idea of you know, maybe a way when you're starting off with just the 3 items and what you start with, you get a fairly functional vehicle. everything out. No, that'll do. Not exactly the prettiest robot in the world, but hey, we've got 9 guns on the front here. Let's have a crack at this and go into battle, shall we? So once again, this is all using, apart from those heavy chassis blocks, this is all free items that you start off with and you can buy easily. I do apologise for that sound. I needed a slurp of tea. I am British. We do live on tea. Okay, so if this takes a little bit longer, I'll probably bring the video in once we've got in there. Okay, so here we go. And we'll do a few battles with this, and then I'll show you what you can do with maybe the top-mounted SMGs as well. So. Go, teleporting in players. That looks like Starship Enterprise almost there. So let's have a look. Yeah, we're fairly stable here. Or not. Okay, we're really quite unstable, aren't we? A little bit too top heavy. Probably have to make the base out of a heavier thing, but we'll be careful. And I haven't gone with any of my team, have I? Okay. Now when you first start off the game, you will find that you don't really have a way to self-right, but you can quickly get, once you get to tier 2, you start getting the points to be able to do that. Let's see how well this works out. I think our team are getting shot over there. Now at lower tier, you notice people aren't spotting and things like that. This is something that if you like team play, you have to remember, free-to-play game, people are you're gonna have the lowest tier people here. Oh look. Where are they coming from? Where are they coming from? Let's get some fire damage on him. Oh, I can't seem to be able to spot. Oh, there we go. There it goes. Finish him off. Destroy the fuck out of him. Oh yeah. Die. Now that there is the issue with the front mounted SMGs. And also it appears they're on the base. When you see the blue capture bar coming up. Oh, that's a guy behind us. Let's get away. Hopefully they're not taking out too much of our back there. Right, let's go and help defend our base. Oh look, loads of them. See if we can at least prevent them from doing too much damage. No. Well, I don't think that was too bad. For our first attempt at that, we got no higher tier items. I like this design. And you'll see that most people have actually got these turret guns because they do allow you to... Let's go and see if we've got anyone actually defending our base. Not bad, looks like we lost this battle. Oh dear. Okay, let's see how we did though. We destroyed that. We got total RP 247. What's our repair cost? 91. So as you can see, that would allow you to, if we go into the Cube Depot, hardware, let's have a look at top mount SMG. So we would have been able to at least buy another top mount SMG. So we'll do another one of this, see if we can add some... I don't really see anywhere we can add anything else. Now what we could potentially do, if we go here, we buy here, and we go to our inventory, we could potentially put a couple of guns on the side here. Now these don't have 360, where did I put that one over there? I really hate things being asymmetrical. There and there. I think it was there. Nope, one back. So these things don't have 360 degree field, but they don't take up many tech points at all, so you can literally have your tank brimming with them like this. Okay, so let's have another go at that. See if we can get ourselves a victory, and then we'll... Oh, no, no, no. Didn't want to do it. That was me face palming. Didn't want to go into battle there. Well, the practice battle anyway, so let's come straight out. And we'll get ourselves another battle and see how that goes. And then we'll make ourselves a top mount SMG one, using still the rest of this sort of tier that we have, this tier 1 stuff that's completely free. And then what I'm going to do is at the end of the video, I'm going to make something that you might use on, say, tier 2, which is usually some stuff you would unlock with the tier 1 tech points, and maybe some tier 2 tech points, and before you get into the more powerful sort of weapons. And then the next video is going to be so I think we can... You see, we've got a little bit more of a range there. So now, when you see vehicles like that, the most likelihood is that they have actually got higher grade weapons on them. See, that guy's got a radar, etc. Now, I've noticed that most of our guys are going to charge him down there. Let's try and stick with the team, shall we? Okay. See if I get a victory this time. Okay, so there's, so this is tier 1, and you just see a guy firing off a plasma cannon there. Plasma cannons are tier 3 minimum. So this sort of demonstrates how you do, at these lower levels, there are people that build robots that kind of, not really work around the system, but you know, they, until you've actually got up to that level or you've paid points to be able to get hold of those, you're not going to be able to match them for their versatility or the items that they have available to them. But the other side of it as well is there's really no point doing that in these lower tiers. Oh, enemy. Excuse me. Oh, that was good. Someone's just destroyed the hell out of me. See if we can finish him. Come on, let's finish him. Finish him. Come on. Yes! Oh no, we didn't get him. We've got one single laser. And they're capturing our base. Oh dear. Brilliant team play here from me. But hey, look, we survived that when we got hit by a plasma launcher. So that's fairly good going there. Whoops. Not so good driving though. Now if we get enough people onto this flag, we may actually out capture them. We can try, let's get on here. Nah, we've lost. Oh well. Now you do get points for defending your flag, and you also get points for helping capture a flag. Even if you don't actually capture, you still get points for helping. And hopefully we'll get a few. Oh, I like his one there. It's like a caterpillar. So have a look at the result of that one. Okay, so we've got 253, and okay, so we've been out to, even after 2 battles, 2 losses, you know, we're just using this really free stuff, not doing particularly great. We would actually be able to start to afford a few of the turrets. So what we might want to do is just, you know, as a tester to do our design, we might want to do something like this, which immediately is going to reduce our instability because we're now a lower and flatter design. So we'll be able to afford 4 top mount SMGs. So what we'll do is we'll whack one there, one there. No, we won't put it there because that's uneven. And we'll put another one there, another one there. Now there's something you need to remember with these SMGs, with these turrets, is they can't fire through themselves. So what I've got here is actually, this is not going to be a brilliant design, because when I'm trying to shoot straight ahead, so if I'm trying to shoot with that arrow here, well, this one, as you can see, is going to be facing there, and then this one is going to be trying to shoot through that one. So one option is to arrange them more like this, which means that these are both, if you're shooting straight ahead, but then if you get something at an angle, they're going to hit each other. Or the other option is if we have this, say, here and here, what we could then do is have a block maybe here and have our other two SMGs here and here, like that. Now of course you try and shoot backwards, these are going to hit themselves. So then the next option is to go, okay, well let's put that one there and that one there. So there's very few fields of fire where these are going to hit each other. Unless this gun is trying to shoot up and behind you there, or this one is trying to shoot really low angles, they're not going to hit each other. What I am going to do is just put a couple of little blocks to try and, not going to be very pretty, but stop this easily getting taken out. Oops, could use diagonal blocks, but this is the free stuff. Okay, so hopefully what we're going to see now is a slightly more effective fighting. Hopefully. Need to drink a tea. There we go. There we go. And then if we do actually end up in a situation we've got to shoot behind us, we've still got some guns. Sort that out. Right, where's our team gone? Our team's gone charging down the left and right here. I'm going to stick with these guys. Go just closer. Ooh. Now you see what this guy's done here is, I mean, I'm not criticising his design, but one thing he's going to find is okay, he can shoot behind himself really well, but most of those guns are not going to be able to be used to shoot ahead, and that's, you know, he's gone for a more sort of 360 design. It's really down to what you decide to do there. This guy here, as you can see, is, let's help that team here. Now you don't destroy your own team when you shoot them, so don't worry too much about that. You can knock them over though. Let's get rid of it. Okay, cool. Let's do a bit of a strafe on this guy and see if we can bring our main guns into fire. Can we finish him? Can we finish him? Can we finish him? Come on, come on, come on. Yes. Oh, there's another one there. Okay, we're going to die, but hey. Can we finish him? Oh, can we finish this guy too? Well, we didn't get the kill, but hey. Right, let's see if we can get on their flag and get a capture going. I've got 3 guns. We have more team than them. Oh, what's up? We've got a few people in our team who have gone for the same thing. I do hear firing over here, and I also didn't spot any of those guys that I saw, which was... Oh no, what's that? Is that our guys getting destroyed to fuck there? No. Cool. Looks like we got a win. Awesome. Now the other side of it as well is, I'm sure you noticed that these people that have got a lot of turrets, you can line them up a lot closer to each other. What we'll do is we'll design fairly similar to that guy over there. So he's got some front mounted and he's got that. Kind of really where ours would go if we put some more money into it. So let's yay! Team victory! Okay, so the last thing I'm going to do on this video is I'll show you the results of this victory, and then I'm going to try and build something a little bit more effective. Maybe not look quite so much of a noob. Let's have a look here. So we've got 300, but we've got our first victory of the day. So we've got a load of tech points and a load of normal points, and our repair costs of only 32. Okay guys, so while I finish off this video, I'm just going to show you sort of where I went with that design that we were using. As you can see, we are now bristling with guns. There's 4, 8, 12, 14 guns there on there, and we're still tier 1. You can see we've got this now actual armoured blocks. if you were to actually let's go underneath here, and you can see that I've actually put a lot of the underside of the chassis as well as those armored blocks. Would give you a little bit more fighting capability. We've got excuse me, 2 actual tier 2 cannons there, and we really can't put anything else on this without hitting tier 2. But this is where you might sort of end up at the end of tier 1, and as you can see, you can get quite a lot on there. Now there is one thing I will point out, is that if you were first creating your robot, you may find that you would not be able to have as many guns as this or the same design as this to start off with, because if you look at the top of the screen there, you'll see the CPU, it's 510 out of 655. You won't have that CPU capability of 510 until you got a few levels up, but you could have similar levels to this amount of guns. So maybe if we say took off that gun and that gun, after a few battles you might have that 490 capacity. Anyway guys, I hope this was a good video to help you get an idea of how to make your robot more stable and how you might start off with your base items that you get, and then maybe where you could go before you decide to go up a few of the tiers. Do feel free to leave comments if you want to ask any questions, or if you found this useful, please do let me know. Please do like the video if you enjoyed it, and feel free to subscribe. There's going to be more Robocraft videos coming. I'm working on an Unturned video, obviously going to do more Minecraft videos and all sorts of things. So yeah mate, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope to catch you soon.